No desktop audio. Phase change. Ah, it's unplugged. Hang on. To be more accurate, it got unplugged so I could put it into USB sockets a lot closer to where the USB sound card is. So I put, let's try audio. Device not connected or available. You don't say. Speakers. Number 5 instead of 4. Asus Republic of Gamers 7.1. Dems to 1s. Oh, my mic's all the way over there, so I've got no idea if you can hear me. Right, let us get this sorted. Yes, R2, I know. Twitch setup on the phone, so I can be certain I'm streaming. Yep. Lesai. The desktop version does not want to cooperate. It gets like this from time to time. Is that life? Maybe it is. We will find out. Ooh, that gave me loud. That gave me really loud. It's alive! Load game, not start game. Oh. Is this thing detecting my Xbox controller? Well, it must be, because Joy to Key was okay, this is annoying. No idea what's plugging itself in. Unplugging with great rapidity, but that's the USB cable for the phone. Oh, you've turned off the bloody socket, that's why those are working. Hey, see? It's easy, it'll do you in every time. I don't know how I managed to turn off that bank of USB things. I got this 10 USB hub and it's like 3 and then one on the side, and every bank of 3 has its own power switch, and this still is not being detected. Let's see if Windows is detecting it. Or settings, devices. Devices. How many connections has it made to my speakers anyway? Yeah, the controller's there. Devices and printers. Property. Hardware. That wasn't it. Let's try Game controller settings. Definitely plugged in. Yep. Advanced. Preferred device. Yep, yep, yep. And yep. It's having a little trouble detecting it on here, I think. Oh no, it's detecting it. It's down to where it was then. Let's take a backup then. Oh, why do I keep on doing that? 10%, thank you. Let's try that. 35%. Yeah, now it's detecting it. So it just needs poking. Jolly good. Like so much in life. Jolly good poke. Does the real good. $40. Yeah, that seems responsive enough. Of course, this will be frozen now. Good grief, it's not frozen. Ah! Slight miracle. Prepare to die. Well, I've done that 7 times. Like, that's that whole seraphim thing, whole vampire thing, and now a Marisi thing. So, yeah, quite used to death.
Take the beast down.
Don't call me a beast. I can think, thank you. Actually, that's a lie. Raziel cannot think. He pretends to think, but he is rather dense. So, actually, I reckon that is the best way to describe him. Takes him a while to learn some humility. Why aren't you dodging in the right direction? Actually, the servers are quite generous with recovery on this stage. It gets a lot worse later. Stop it to me. That's better. I think where I've ordered that dead zone on the control, it's going to take me a little time to get used to it. I can't get into that yet because it's a question of time, I think. Let's go and get annoyed by the Elder God again. Which way is it? That way. Or that way. I think it's back the way. Yeah, that way. Hello, Squiddly Diddly. And no, I'm not actually old enough to remember Squiddly Diddly. Before anybody says anything, no, I'm not that old. I'm close to it, then.
Ah, my wayward child returns.
Having unearthed more than you'd like, I suspect. What am I to make of these ruins that litter the land, and these images here in this chamber?
Merely the deceits of a failed civilization. You are being misled, Raziel. This ancient race hoped to manipulate the future with these scrawled misdirections. You must tread carefully. There are dark forces at work in this world, bent on subverting your true destiny.
I have no doubt of that. The question is, am I in their presence right now?
Your arrogance will spell your demise, Raziel. Deny my will, and the arc of your destiny will reach a sudden conclusion.
No, it won't, you lying
Your
squid.
threats are unmoving. Even now, I'm beyond your reach.
My reach is longer than you realize. This is a very dangerous game you're playing, Raziel.
Well, as my gran would say when she met somebody particularly tough, recently said something that's remarkably tough. That's nice, dear. These days. Good for the calves, but not a lot else. And while not fighting you lot, you seriously are not worth it. You have no weapons and you cannot feed me. Oh, of course, there are lights on the floor. I always just assumed they were spirals. I mean, on the PS2, they're kind of harder to make out. Possibly because I played that on the TV, which was a lot further away than in my monitors. The blue, it does hurt my eyes. Actually, I wonder if it is possible to whack the sharpness up anymore. That one. No, that's it for sharpness. Ah, well. Alright, it's good enough. At least I can see when I'm underwater. Which, believe me, without that active shader pack running, you can't see. The game client won't clear the render frames from the previous graphic load, and so they just pile up on top of each other until the OSED eventually fade away. Is there a bit of a cane here? No, this is Ariel, isn't it? No Ariel? Oh, not yet. She kind of made her way to the pillars. Ah, more delicious humans. Yeah, doggo so. I only hinted at something. At least that's what I was tasting. Can't say for anybody else. Actually, that's a good question. Does Raziel have a sense of taste? He appears to have no tongue, so, and not much in the way of sinuses. Is that the... That's my look button. Is that the balance shine then? Ah, I don't think so, but maybe. Maybe I've missed something. Try the shrine over there. That would be quite a good idea.
Get it! Prepare to die.
Have I gone the right way? Get a strange feeling, maybe not. Yeah, it definitely is a different element. So, where's the light shrine? Well, they wouldn't have just stuck people there for no reason. So what am I missing? There's that crystal up there, but that is not interacting with shots of dark. Don't see anything there. Oh, the gate's still open. Try the other side of the lake then. Aha, that's looking a lot better. The dead, they walk. Wow. Shamble. Good. Okay, here we go. What have we got? More pickies, which no doubt I'll get a long monologue about. And a shadow gatey type thing, I think.
These murals left no room for doubt. These winged creatures were indeed the architects of the pillars. And while the images were difficult to decipher, the pillars appeared to banish or diminish their enemies somehow.
Just get some extra on. Oh, that helps a bit. Yes, let's do that without being less stupid, I think. I'm picking up the sword. Pick up the sword would be quite good. side? I would say yes. Essence of scavenger. Big axe, that's what I like. Admittedly, it's just going to be another pointy stick, really, but. I left my axe behind. I wonder if I could have triggered that with my axe in my hand. I mean, I can't on the save point, so. Yeah. Aha. I got to reload it. There's the shrine that we were allowed to reload. Probably on the other side of that gate. Oh, slower. Actually, I don't need you. I need a spawn point. Oh, great. A dog. wonder if I can sneak over the edge to the weapon. No, 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 no. Damn. And I lost the weapon. Feed me some more. Perhaps even more. Oh well, I can't grab that thing and do anything about it. Oh, solid. Ah, axe. Oh wait, what's that? So I'm going to need dark to get across, I guess. What's down at the bottom? I like the big axe. The only time I do like a big chopper in my life, but This works out yeah, the better. I mean, otherwise, give me the safe answer. So as far as go. So the dark side. Oh, that's quite handy. Stop hitting me. Yeah. road am I meant to be taking this? Makes as much sense as anything. It's meant to go in somewhere. I swear it goes in. Oh yeah. Oh, it goes in there, doesn't it? There we go. Oh shit, what just fell down? So it's going to steal a blue cloak, I think.
I plunged the Reaver into the forge and
Because it makes
imbued
you
the
has the
blade with
talking.
the elemental power of light. Thus armed, I now had the means to re-enter the stronghold and finally use Mobius's time-streaming device to accomplish my own ends.
You're such an idiot. Really? I mean, come on. Obvious trap is obvious. That goes from back into the water here. Oh, there's a safe station there. Use that. Oh no, safe station's on the other side. Oh, but we're still going to do the wheel thing. Do we? I think so. Oh, no, I must have just got the wrong archway. No, I didn't get it wrong archway. Hang on. Ah, there we go. It just isn't a prompt for it anymore. Yes, and 2 legs as well. Well done. Well spotted. 3 ears. Nobody spotted that, I think. Oh, right. See, it would help if the camera hadn't jammed itself in the corner. That big flag in the way is also not helping. Oh. Back to the cathedral.
Show yourself, King.
Here, Raziel. Everything is decided here. You cannot comprehend the magnitude, the rapture.
Yeah, it's the game's so old that it's.
If Nosgoth is to be dragged from the wreckage of its damnation,
It always had difficulties running on the PC. So anytime there's a warping effect like there is now, what it was doing before.
I don't know who's pulling the strings.
What I was doing before was it wasn't getting rid of the old render frames properly, so everything was punching over each other. I've got an active render pack on this now. It's taking care of most of the issues, but not all of them. But compared to what it was like, I mean, this is a lot better.
Ingrained, Raziel. You must understand. Our presence here doesn't alter history. You and I
mean, when you consider when I first installed the game
we have always
2 days ago,
here. History is
it wouldn't even get
irredeemable.
past the start screen.
Drop a stone into a rushing river. The current simply courses around it and flows on as if the obstruction were never there. You and I are pebbles, Raziel, and have even less hope of disrupting the time stream. The continuum of history is simply too strong, too resilient. Except, then how do we explain William here?
It's the only way to play it now. If I took off the active render pack, what would happen is every time the screen warps with this forwards and backwards effect, the old render screens would not be taken off the screen, so they literally build up on top of each other, so you can't see what's going on there. It's not too bad in the cutscenes. They will eventually go, but when you're trying to swim underwater, when the same warping effect comes in, you can't see anything at all. You can't navigate, so you have to have the render pack up and running. Otherwise, you're screwed on the underwater stuff.
Opportunity to murder the young king before he can ravage Nosgoth.
Oh, it's literally a case of having to put up with it just to make the game playable.
To ignite a genocidal war against our race.
I warn you, no further.
This one reckless act unravels the skein of history. The nemesis never becomes the nemesis. William dies a martyred saint. I, the vampire assassin, become the author of my own species' extinction, and Mobius profits from it all. I destroyed a tyrant only to create one far worse. But how can it be so? How, if history is immutable? The answer is here in this room, Raziel.
Yeah, Win 7, it was okay up until Win 7. There were some issues with some graphics cards and some settings, but Win 10 broke this game hard. I mean, this game is old, and it always had problems deep down in the audio cores, both on the PlayStation 2 actually, and on the PC. And it's meant that for some reason the audio core problems leaks through then into, like, when it needs to sink into the graphics, it starts creating problems. Then you've got the graphic rendering issues. Yeah, I mean, it's Windows 10. The game's so old. Yeah, it just creates issues. I've actually got this running on PS2 before, and although graphically it's fine, you can see the audio issues come through. The audio issues that were there right at the beginning, because the game is constantly having to change the FPS just to get the sound to match up with the action on the screen.
What's happening? We're hurtling towards our destinies, Raziel. What you feel is the pull of history rushing to meet us. This is where history and destiny collide.
I mean, this is probably going to be the last iteration of Windows that this will be playable on now.
Now is the time to prove it. Kill me now, and we both become pawns of history, dragged down the path of an artificial destiny. I was ordained to assume the role of Balance Guardian in Nosgoth, while you were destined to be its savior. But the map of my fate was redrawn by Mobius, and so in turn was yours. This is madness! Fight it, Raziel. This moment does not have to be an
Hopefully,
ending.
Blood Omen 2 and Legacy King won't be as bad to run on PC.
You can, Raziel. Look inside and see that it is so. You have the power to reshape our inevitable futures.
What a root in the chest. Not even his corpse is left alone.
Poor William. What is this? History abhors a paradox, Raziel. Even now, the time stream strains to divert itself, finding its old course blocked by your refusal to destroy me. The future is reshuffling itself to accommodate your monumental decision. This is where we restore ourselves, Raziel, and reclaim our intended destinies. It may yet be possible for me to assume my role as Balance Guardian and return the pillars to their rightful inheritors.
To the vampires. And this is the destiny you have urged me to discover. I don't know what game you and Mobius are playing, Kane, but I refuse to be your pawn. Unlike you, I still revere whatever shred of humanity I've managed to preserve. You will not use me as the instrument of your messianic delusions.
Very well, Raziel. I'll not ask you to trust me. Your truths are for you to discover
hang on.
alone.
Humble words for one who presumes to teach me a lesson at every turn.
Then continue your journey and learn your own lessons, Raziel. Remember, Mobius led you here, but you walk away unfettered.
That was my alarm going off, but I have to mute it because it comes up on the stream as copyrighted material. Just to mute the audio for a bit.
To unearth, if you have the heart for the truth and the will to see it.
Yeah, the closer I get to that distortion effect, the more you start to see the rendering issues around the edges of the screen. And then as I move away from it, it starts to settle down. Although what the active rendering pack is doing, it always focuses on the foreground. And so as I move away and towards things, you'll see them shift in and out of focus. And that's the rendering pack basically doing its job. I'm trying to remember, is it back this way to get to them? I think it was back this way to get to the time streaming device. I seem to remember they ran it in a circle for some strange reason instead of allowing you to go back the way you came. Pressing the right button would help. Do that. Remember coming in. He went into the grinder. Yeah. Rahab. He was the fish guy, so I burnt him. Shirel, yeah, don't kill him yet. That's got to be me. Yep, there's the out. Killed by, there's the out. Zephon. Did I face Zephon? Yeah, he was the spider vampire. He's well dead. He also got burnt, actually. One was sunlight, one was fire. And Dumar was fire. There's quite a party to this. I'm trying to remember which stream it was. Maybe 2-3 streams ago, or could be 4 actually, on the in the videos section of Twitch. You should be able to see what I'm talking about with the rendering issues in the cutscenes. You're looking for it specifically when I'm talking to Mobius in the tomb, not in the time stream chamber, but in the tomb. And the same as well whenever I'm going underwater.
Seize him!
Finally back to the beginning.
Ah, yes. I like that look on your face, Mobius. You really don't know what to do now, do you, old man? Here you are, caught without your damn staff. I suspect things aren't progressing quite as you'd hoped. You're not used to the fly turning to confront you in your web, are you?
Kane's devious influence has poisoned your mind, Raziel. Now you see betrayal everywhere, even in your closest allies.
We were never allies, Mobius. Conspirators, perhaps. Briefly.
Why did you not kill Kane when you had the chance? He was at your mercy.
Precisely. I had a choice, and I chose mercy. And now I know your sordid little secret. The significance of that displacement I felt when the two Reavers came together. Strangely enough, I was enlightened by the devious Kane, not by you. In fact, I've learned much more than you counted on. I understand now how you've tried to manipulate all of history for your own personal gain. But now all your little schemes are whirling in ruin around you, aren't they? All because I chose to exert my will for once, rather than obey the demands of sorcerers and spirits and demons, all singing the same tiresome refrain, "Kill Kane." I'm setting my own path from here, Mobius. I intend to discover the truth behind all of this.
But you condemn us all with this impetuous act.
Hardly impetuous. It took all the will I could muster. Has my refusal to kill Kane reshuffled your carefully stacked deck of cards?
You really think that you're exercising your free will, Raziel? You're simply Kane's servant.
I do not serve Kane. I merely did not kill him.
Raziel, do not forget your purpose here. You are destined to be the savior of Nosgoth.
Oh, I'm sick of hearing that particular phrase. As for saving Nosgoth, so far I see precious little reason to bother. And I'll choose my own purpose from here on out, Time Streamer. Right now, I choose to manipulate you for a change. Go. In there.
What are you doing?
Come, Mobius. You're a cunning serpent. You'll piece it together, I imagine. This error is of no further use to me. You will operate this device to provide me passage. I want to see the world in a simpler time, before the Sarafan began their crusade.
And what about Kane? You're leaving your core behind?
You kill him if it's so damned important.
You need only touch the two poles of the switch, and the device will transport you. but I urge you to reconsider.
You've lost your powers of persuasion, old man. Rot here and forget me.
You're just not that smart, are you, Raziel?
Even as I emerged from that infernal time-streaming chamber, I suspected treachery. The
Really?
stronghold was
No
vacant,
shit.
derelict, abandoned.
Yep, there's the people again. Oh great, you go into this realm as well. Although admittedly with a soul lever they are a hell of a lot easier to kill. Which might be the key to taking down Field at the same time. The big axe is stickies or chocolates, I can't remember.
If I had any doubts about the era I now occupied, this grotesque tableau certainly eliminated them. For here was Mobius, long since murdered by Cain, lionized and beatified as the martyred leader of his bloodthirsty crusade. And if I required further evidence, I needed only to behold the gruesome trophy Mobius held aloft. A severed head of Vorador. The final triumphant kill of Mobius's cutthroat mob. His execution marked the annihilation of the vampires. Far from channeling me into Nosgoth's past, Mobius had propelled me over a century to its ghastly future. The intent behind this little detour was unmistakable. Having failed to make me his obedient assassin, Mobius intended to keep me ignorant of my true destiny, which clearly lay in Nosgoth's past. While his deception only reinforced my purpose, Mobius had effectively stranded me here. This left me no course but to explore the era I now occupied and see what changes the century had wrought, following Cain's ill-fated decision. Perhaps time had cleared a path for me into the mountains, where I might unearth more clues behind the mystery of Janos Audron.
So it looks like it started with a weapon and then scavenged for one after the first kill. I'll maybe try just the drop instead of the throw. That might be slightly quicker. It's working then, wasn't it? Yep. Try dodging. Yeah, I've got to get better at fighting these things.
What pathetic charade is this now, Mobius?
No charade, Raziel. Only the entreaties of this martyred spirit.
Your pleas mean nothing to me after all your deceit. You have propelled me into Nosgoth's future, Mobius, and left me stranded here.
I am truly sorry, Raziel, but it was necessary. Consider it the last valiant act of a doomed man. You have strayed from your purpose, and now behold the result. Gaze upon the wasteland you and Cain authored together.
I fail to see how I'm responsible.
You spared Cain, and by doing so, you have released a multitude of horrors upon this world. I can accept that Cain has murdered me, as the Time Guardian. I foresaw that incident long before it occurred, and I take some small comfort in the fact that Cain remains the sole survivor of his vile breed. But you have single-handedly made my sacrifice meaningless.
Your argument is disingenuous, Time Streamer. I cannot see how killing or sparing Cain's future self would alter these events. This wasteland was created by Cain's original refusal at the Pillars. Amidst all these twists and turns, that event has never changed. You are cunning, yes. I think you've gotten tangled in your own way.
As Cain clings to his precious seat of power, the pillars sink into a mire of decay, dragging all of Nosgoth down with them.
I don't think this has anything to do with the Pillars, or Cain's failure to sacrifice himself. I think you're simply afraid, because you don't know what he's up to. He's a wild card, isn't he? And you don't want his influence in your game. Which is why you wanted me to eliminate him. Well, now that he survived, you have no idea what's coming, do you? Maybe, for the first time in your entire life, you're terrified that he may have truly found a third option out of the dilemma you orchestrated for him.
Cain's lies have addled your mind. Leave this place and trouble my spirit no more.
If you even are a spirit, you've forgotten. I have a way to tell for sure. If you're willing to risk it. I didn't think so. Either way, you lose.
Right then, let's get some water. I think I might have frozen the game accidentally again, and that save point is way back. Damn it all, it's lost the hook to the graphics card. Well, technically, DirectX, but... Oh well, I'll pick this up tomorrow and make recap the lost ground so I can carry on from this point.